When international borders are crossed by military aircraft without permission, alarm bells ring across the world, and that's exactly what happened with Estonia's latest accusation against Russia. The stakes couldn't be higher. A NATO member's airspace breached, allies on edge, and questions swirling about just how deliberate such actions truly are. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this a deliberate provocation by Moscow, or a tragic accident amplified by tense geopolitics? Let's break down what happened. On Friday, Estonia's government publicly condemned an unusually bold incursion, reporting that 3 Russian MiG-31 fighter jets crossed into Estonian airspace and lingered for a full 12 minutes. This wasn't just a minor mishap. It was the 4th time in a single year that Russia had crossed this sensitive border, but the first involving so many jets and for such an extended time, sparking outrage and raising the specter of escalating confrontations along NATO's eastern front. The context makes this even more alarming. Just over a week earlier, Russian drones had slipped into Polish airspace in large numbers, prompting NATO to respond with force, a rare instance of the alliance actually engaging during the ongoing conflict nearby. Western leaders fear that Moscow is probing NATO's defenses, testing how quickly and decisively the alliance will act under pressure. Does this pattern suggest a bigger strategy by Russia, or could it be a series of unrelated incidents? That's the debate now heating up among diplomats and defense experts alike. Further fueling anxieties, this incursion took place only days after Russian and Belarusian military forces concluded major joint exercises dubbed Zapad 2025. Was the timing an accident or a message? Estonian officials didn't hesitate to act. The country's foreign minister, Margus Tsahkna, called the airspace violation completely unacceptable, emphasizing that repeated intrusions can't be ignored. He called on NATO and other Western powers to ramp up their political and economic pressures against Moscow, an assertive stance that other NATO members may or may not agree with. Do you think such a hardline response is justified, or does it risk making matters worse? The Russian government did not immediately comment, but it's worth noting that Russian military aircraft frequently fly between the Russian mainland and the Kaliningrad enclave, traversing the busy Baltic airspace. According to NATO, their jets responded rapidly and intercepted the Russian planes, demonstrating what they describe as NATO's ability to react swiftly to any threat. Still, other authorities, including the White House, remained silent, leaving many wondering how united the alliance really is. European Union leaders weren't quiet. Estonia summoned Russia's top diplomat in Tallinn to officially protest the violation, and some sources even hinted that Estonia might invoke Article 4 of the NATO treaty. For those unfamiliar, Article 4 triggers consultations among NATO members if any member feels its security is under threat. It's a diplomatic tool that signals deep concern, often used to rally support and coordinate next steps. Digging into the details, Estonia's defense forces revealed that the jets had entered near Vaindloo Island, a spot about 100 kilometers from Tallinn. The troubling part? The Russian pilots filed no flight plans, didn't turn on their transponders, and weren't in touch with air traffic control. The kind of behavior that makes accidents seem unlikely and intent more probable. U.S. officials, speaking off the record, expressed skepticism that so many highly trained pilots could stay lost for so long. But here's the twist. A prominent Russian security analyst suggested that, despite appearances, this could still have been an unplanned event. That's the gray zone where interpretations split. Do you see this as a genuine error or as testing NATO's patience? And this is the part most people miss. While brief Russian flybys near Vaindloo Island aren't rare, a 12-minute incursion by 3 jets at once is, shifting the situation from routine to remarkable. Just months before, Tallinn also claimed Moscow sent a jet into NATO airspace to intercept a ship suspected of skirting Western sanctions. So, what does all this mean for the region and the world? Estonia, along with its Baltic neighbors Latvia and Lithuania, stands among NATO's most vocal Russia critics and strongest Ukraine supporters. In this rapidly shifting landscape, even short-lived airspace violations become incendiary issues, potential sparks in a powder keg. But now it's your turn. Was this the latest move in an ongoing chess match, or a mistake blown out of proportion? Should NATO double down or seek de-escalation? The conversation is far from over. Share your perspective in the comments, especially if you disagree with how Western leaders are handling these delicate moments.